Imagine this. You get paid, you plan to save, and by the end of the month, it's all gone. The bills, the groceries, the subscriptions, the little impulse buys you thought you were doing everything right, yet somehow the savings never appear. You start blaming yourself. I'm bad with money. I'll never get ahead. Why can't I just save? But here's the truth that no one tells you. It's not you. It's the system you've been following. The problem isn't your discipline. It's that your money doesn't work for you. It works against you without structure. And that's exactly why saving feels impossible. Today, in this video, we're going to unpack the hidden reasons why your savings keep slipping away, why motivation alone fails, and how a few simple, practical shifts can completely change the game. You'll learn how to pay yourself first, create clarity in your money, and stop the cycle of stress, guilt, and frustration. By the end of this video, you'll understand that saving isn't about deprivation. It's about building a system that works automatically, quietly, and reliably. Stay with me, because the final shift I'll reveal is the one that transforms saving from a stressful chore into a natural, effortless part of your life. You're about to see why saving hasn't worked for you so far, how the solution isn't harder rules, it's smarter systems that actually fit your life. Saving is too emotional. Saving money is hard, not because you lack discipline, but because humans are not wired for constant financial restraint. Most people rely entirely on willpower, motivation, or sheer discipline to put money aside, and the truth is, that only works when life is easy. Stressful days, emotional spending triggers, social pressures, or even just being tired can completely derail the best intentions. You plan to save, but then a surprise bill arrives. You treat yourself after a rough week, or you buy something just because. The cycle repeats itself, leaving you frustrated and guilty. You start telling yourself, I'll never get ahead, or I'm just bad with money. But that's not true. What's failing is not you, it's the system you're using. Real financial progress happens when your money moves automatically before you even think about it. That's why automation is key. By setting up automatic transfers into a savings account, you remove the emotion, the temptation, and the need for constant discipline. Even small amounts, like $20 or $50, begin to accumulate without stress. And more importantly, you start building a pattern of consistency instead of guilt. This emotional shift is powerful. Instead of feeling frustrated and punished every month, you start feeling in control and capable. Saving becomes a habit, not a battle. The problem isn't motivation. It's relying on motivation as a system. Real systems work quietly in the background, making saving inevitable rather than optional. When you automate, your money works for you without requiring heroic willpower. You stop associating saving with deprivation, guilt, or failure, and instead, you start associating it with empowerment, security, and control. By the end of this part, you'll understand that emotion is the silent saboteur of your finances. And removing it is the first step to consistent saving that actually sticks. One of the biggest mistakes almost everyone makes is saving what's left over. I'll save after I pay bills and spend on everything else. Sounds familiar, right? Here's why it never works. Life always finds a way to take everything first. Rent, groceries, coffee, subscriptions, bills, they consume most of your paycheck, and what's left is often negligible. By the time you try to save, the leftover is too little, or worse, it's already gone. Even if you try to budget strictly, unexpected expenses always appear, and suddenly, your plan collapses. That's why saving last feels impossible. The solution is deceptively simple. Pay yourself first. Decide on an amount of $20. If that is all you can spare and move it into a separate savings account immediately when your paycheck arrives, no decisions, no temptation, no excuses. Automation is key here too. Schedule automatic transfers so you never have to think about it. By paying yourself first, you shift your identity. You're no longer someone who tries and fails. You're someone who saves. And that small win triggers consistency. The emotional shift is profound. Guilt turns into empowerment. Frustration turns into control. You no longer wait for motivation to strike, you build a system that guarantees success. Even small amounts add up over time. And the habit of paying yourself first builds confidence and momentum that affects all areas of your finances.
All the trick isn't
Saving huge sums immediately, it's creating a routine where saving happens automatically, reliably, and without stress. This is how you stop the monthly cycle of ILL save later and start a new cycle of financial control. Money without purpose is chaotic money. Many people keep all their funds in one account and expect that by sheer will they'll save something at the end of the month. The result? Anxiety, overdraft fees, unexpected shortfalls, and that constant feeling that you can never get ahead. Your brain craves clarity, and money without purpose feels messy, overwhelming, and stressful. The solution is simple. Assign your money a job. Split your accounts or buckets into bills, spending, and savings. Each dollar should have a clear role before you even spend it. By separating your money, you create mental clarity. You know exactly what is allocated for essentials, what can be used for lifestyle, and what goes into savings. This isn't complicated, and it doesn't require strict tracking every single day, just clarity over chaos. When your money has a job, it stops being mysterious, and stress reduces immediately. You can spend intentionally because you know your limits. You no longer feel guilty for enjoying life, because your essentials and savings are already accounted for. The simplicity of a few dedicated accounts can replace hours of mental energy spent guessing, worrying, and improvising. Your system can be as simple as 3 accounts, one for bills, one for lifestyle spending, and one for savings. The key is consistency, not complexity. By giving every dollar a purpose, you stop the unpredictable money drain that has been keeping you broke. This shift also makes room for growth. Once your money is structured, you can begin thinking about investing or building buffers without fear or confusion. Clarity creates control, control creates calm, and calm makes consistent saving possible. Controlling spending without restriction. One of the biggest myths about saving is that it requires sacrifice. Most people believe saving money means denying yourself anything enjoyable. The truth is, strict restriction leads to rebellion. People spend more when they feel deprived. The better approach is intentional spending. Instead of saying no to everything, you decide consciously where your money goes. Weekly check-ins are far more effective than micromanaging every dollar daily. By reviewing your spending once a week, you see patterns, catch leaks, and make small adjustments before they become problems. Intentional spending gives freedom, not restriction. You enjoy your lifestyle without guilt because you know your limits. It also reduces stress. When you know what is allocated and what is available, the anxiety of, "Am I overspending?" disappears. Spending with awareness transforms money from a source of panic into a tool for control. The emotional shift is significant. Instead of fear, you feel calm. Instead of restriction, you feel freedom. You learn that limits are liberating, not suffocating. This habit prevents the cycle of frustration where people overspend and then feel guilty, making saving feel impossible. Building a buffer without a buffer, any small emergency wipes out your savings. One car repair, one medical bill, or one unexpected expense can erase months of effort. That's why the first goal isn't a perfect savings account, it's a simple emergency fund. Even as little as $1,000. This buffer isn't about perfection, it's about peace of mind. When you have a small emergency fund, panic doesn't dictate your financial decisions. You avoid unnecessary debt cycles. You avoid credit card minimum traps. You avoid late fees. Confidence starts with stability. Stability starts with a buffer. Knowing you can handle the unexpected allows you to think clearly. It allows you to plan ahead. It allows you to grow your savings consistently. Emotionally, having a buffer shifts you from a reactive, stressed mindset. It moves you to a proactive, calm one. Every small emergency handled without stress reinforces the habit of saving. It strengthens your financial control, comparison, and lifestyle pressure. Even if your system is in place, comparison quietly undermines it. Social media pushes you to spend. Friends push you to spend. Societal expectations push you to spend. They push you to spend on appearances. They push you to spend on entertainment. They push you to spend on things you don't actually value. Lifestyle inflation sneaks in. You earn more, but your spending grows faster than your savings. This pressure makes saving feel impossible. You're constantly trying to keep up. The fix is aligning money with your values, not with status. Decide what matters most to you. security, freedom, experiences. Spend intentionally in those areas. Ignore the noise of comparison. The emotional shift is liberating. Instead of guilt, you feel confident. Instead of inadequacy, you feel in control. You begin to understand that saving isn't just about money. It's about making choices that reflect your priorities. It's about long-term freedom. This mindset change ensures your system works consistently, even in the face of external pressures. Saving finally becomes possible. Saving becomes sustainable. All the struggles, all the frustration, all the guilt hits, not because saving money is impossible. Truth is, most people have never been set up with a system that actually works. You don't need bigger motivation, harder discipline, or more willpower. What you need is structure. Small systems beat big motivation every time. Automation, intentional spending, separating money by purpose, building buffers, they all add up quietly, invisibly, while you go about your life. And here's the magical part. Consistency beats perfection. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just have to show up day after day and let your system do the work. Emotionally, this is the shift everyone needs. You move from a state of survival, constantly stressed, constantly reactive to control, where you know exactly what's coming in and going out. Finally, that control grows into confidence, where money feels like a tool, not a burden. Suddenly, saving isn't a fight anymore. It's inevitable. And that's the real transformation. The moment where everything clicks, and the impossible suddenly becomes possible. Here's the core truth to take away. You weren't failing. You were never set up to win. That's it. Stop blaming yourself. Stop feeling guilty. Start focusing on changing one thing, one system, one habit at a time. Clarity replaces stress, and simplicity replaces overwhelm. Your first step doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to happen. If this video resonated with you, show some love. Hit like if this felt real. Comment save if this finally explained why saving feels impossible, and subscribe for simple money systems that actually work. Remember, saving doesn't have to be a battle. It just has to be structured. Start today and watch the impossible become possible.